This is a 1950 Oldsmobile Futuramic 88 Deluxe, and take it for a ride here. It's had a 455 rocket put in from a 72. Fires right up. Oh, that's neutral. There we go. Runs awesome. She's still cold, so she's hesitating a little bit. Just because I just literally just fired it up, pulled it out of the garage to do the video. But she runs right at 180, 185. Been riding her around town. Steers great. You can see my hand steering straight down the road. Doesn't have a lot of old car wander or anything like that. This car was really well maintained. Owned by a guy who owned a Meineke, and so he went through and put a brand new muffler system on it. Redid the brakes on it. Pull over here in the park cul-de-sac. I mean, I'm steering with one hand while I drive with the other. Awesome sounding exhaust. Hood latch, actually original hood latch under the dash, which is pretty rare for an old car. The only thing I would do is either put a mechanical fuel pump back in it, or just remount that electric fuel pump because it's kind of loud. It's a really nice, expensive Holly. I mean, the engine runs great. There's no exhaust leaks. Doors open and close well. This body is very straight. You know, I know a lot of guys say aero straight. I'm not going to say aero straight, but it's pretty darn straight. Really straight body. Just a super classy looking old school hot rod. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't do a whole lot to this car. I like them when they look like this. I don't worry about driving them. I don't worry about, you know, I had some bumpers re-chromed on a Galaxy one time, and then got hit by a shopping cart 3 weeks later, and ding, you know, there goes the chrome. So you know, this would be, sure, you could restore this car and it'd be cool, but I just think it looks really cool the way it is. Everything about this car looks awesome, even from 10 feet away. When you get right up on it, you'll see that the paint is consistent from bumper to bumper, and it's just got little imperfections in it. It's satin, so you got to wash it well. You got to, a lot of times, what I like to use on satin to make it really look nice is Turtle Wax makes a product called Ice. Not in the spray bottle, but it's actually a liquid you apply with a sponge. It looks super nice. It makes satin paint look really nice and gets rid of all the little imperfection things that you see. The chrome is, you know, pitted and older. It looks probably original. It's probably never been re-chromed. Not nasty, especially the front bumper, but you know, it doesn't look new. But to me, that's not the look of this car. So I've got the two original hubcaps on the front, and then missing a hubcap on the one side of the back, and then the other side's not matching anyways. But it's got the globe, it's got the world on it, just like it does inside the steering wheel. I love the fact that it's got the fender skirts on it too. That's really cool. The interior of this car is amazing. I love it. It's been redone. It's very nice. Door panels match. Kind of a dark red, a maroon. Dashboard's in excellent shape. No dings or dents, no scratches. I mean, it looks like it was repainted and done nicely, including all the other paint inside the car. All the around the doors, it looks like it's been repainted. Original steering wheel, and the horn does still work. Yep, there you go. All the buttons are here. This was mounted underneath, so if you wanted to remove it, you could. I think it was done tastefully, and it did not compromise the original dash, which is very nice. There is a CD player in the glove box. It's not really in there right now. You can see I can move it around. It does work. The speakers, it's got brand new speakers that have been put behind the rear tray. They just need to be hooked up. And I would probably put a speaker up here too. And then you'd have tunes. But it wouldn't be too hard to do that. Really, really easy. All the lights work. Turn signals work. Brake lights work. The vents work when you open them up when you're driving. The clock does not work, but it looks like it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And the original radio does not work, but it is intact, which is very nice. This car is, so far, I haven't seen it. I've been driving it and I've looked underneath it a couple times. I haven't seen any major rust. We'll get underneath it in a minute. I haven't seen any minor rust even. I was really impressed with this car. Look inside the trunk. This is not my favorite, although somebody spent a lot of money doing it, putting a fuel cell on the back. I've got the original tank for the car. It needs to be cleaned and treated, and I would personally reinstall it. Somebody went out and spent a bunch of money on that Holley fuel pump too. If it was me, maybe I'd leave it, but I'd definitely put it on a rubber mount where it won't vibrate you can hear it all through the car right now just because it vibrates the frame or vibrates through the steel body. But you can see that there's no rust in here. Super, super clean trunk pan. This is what the entire car looks like. Let's look underneath it too. Looks like it was maybe originally a blue, like a grayish blue color. No rust in the back. This is just that original, piece of whatever. It's skipping my mind, but anyways, not rust or anything like that. Okay, rear bumper, same like the front. Got some, scratches on the side with a little bit of surface rust there, a little surface rust there. Got a major part over here where it looks like it's been dinged and got some surface rust on it. Windows in it look good. Actually, in fact, I believe the guy who did some of the restoration put new windows in, and then when he went to close this one, it cracked for some reason. So it is cracked on the driver's side. It will need to be replaced. Other than that, all the rest of the windows work great. It hasn't bothered me because I never drive it with the windows up. Oh yeah, the headliner is also really nice. So they did, in the rear tray, they did a really nice job on the interior. I forgot to show you the speakers, but they're underneath the rear tray. There's two 6x9s under there. Inside looks like original undercoating. I'm gonna lay down on this hot concrete for my video. Oh. Super clean, original looking floor pans. They do not look like they've been replaced. That's original undercoating and Alabama dirt. This is Southern States car. It came from Alabama. And that's what they look like. Looks like there's just a little bit of, the only spots of rust I think I've seen on the whole car. Let's see, a little bit of rust right there. The front of the very bottom of the rear quarter. Super clean. Other than that, underneath you see your trunk pan, the back of the trunk pan. All looks really clean under there. You can see where the old tank was. I mean, super minimal rust. That's one spot in the very back of the trunk. Other than that, really clean. Maybe kind of dirty. 60 years of dirt, but I mean, super minimal rust. Also, you can see the new brake lines. The brake lines were redone. Brakes were redone. Bottom of the door here has just a couple of little tiny bubbles here and one bubble right there. I was saying earlier that car was restored by a guy who owned a Meineke. He says he pulled the engine and trans, had them rebuilt. 455 rocket out of and a 400 turbo trans out of a 72 Olds. Great. This car, I'm driving down to Miami with the windows down. with the stereo running. But this car just runs awesome. It looks awesome, super fun, and I think these are just getting so much more and more desirable. This is a great one to pick up. And I think somebody's gonna have a lot of fun with this really cool car.